Crime tsunami is about to be unleashed on far too many cities across America. So Joe Biden and his band of radical leftists are setting up the perfect storm for a crime wave the likes of which we have never seen before. With illegals flooding our border, we know that many of them are coming here to move drugs and even move people. Those crimes nearly always lead to violence, not to mention we know there are gangs like MS-13 working with Mexican cartels, and they are looking for more street soldiers to peddle their illicit products. Police will not be able to handle the sheer number of criminals that are now being released onto our streets. Combine this with the George Soros-backed district attorneys across America. Anti-police, anti-law and order, they're leftists now in control of so many criminal justice systems in America, and it is no coincidence. They all have the same dangerous agenda. Here it is: do away with cash bail, which of course lets criminals back out on the streets while they await trial. They want to reduce sentences, meaning violent criminals that are convicted will be back out on the streets faster. You tell me how that works. It doesn't. No more trying minors as adults. That includes 16 and 17-year-olds who know what the decisions they are making, hardened gangbangers accused of the most heinous crimes. They'll get off and out by the time they turn 18. Eliminate prosecutions is what some of these prosecutors want to do. Eliminate those prosecutions of dangerous anti-police protesters. Los Angeles County's George Gascon is the king of the Soros-backed DAs. And as crime continues to skyrocket in LA, Gascon has the audacity to brag about his weak on crime policies.
Since I took office, I have instituted a series of reforms based on data and science that will enhance the safety for our community while reducing racial disparities and the misuse of incarceration.
Well, he's boring to listen to, right? That's part of it. He wants to put you to sleep so you glaze over of the worst of what he's offering up. In just 100 days, he admits to reducing sentences of LA criminals by over 8,000 years. That's just in 100 days. He seems proud of the number of cases his office has just flat out dismissed. It's the opposite of how we should measure the success of a district attorney. Every liberal city in America has proven letting criminals go does not reduce crime. Take a look at this case that Gascon dismissed. All right, during an anti-cop protest, one of the many that took place in LA, 3 accused chaos creators were charged with pulling yellow steel police barricades across train tracks in what prosecutors insist was a clear attempt to derail an oncoming passenger train. Fox 11 in Los Angeles obtained this surveillance footage.
The video shows Berg and Lomax dragging the barricade across the train tracks. A third protester runs by, also dragging the wire across the tracks.
All right, so you can see the wire there, barely in the video, but it's heavy stuff. The protesters were charged with felony attempted train wrecking, as well as the lesser charge of unlawful obstruction of a railroad track. That carries 4 years in prison, compared to the first, which carries almost life in prison, okay? Listen.
The surveillance video clearly shows the 2 women, Lomax and Berg, pick up the barricade and start to drag it across. So the evidence against them is incredibly strong just from the video.
All right, and also, an expert from the Union Pacific Railroad declared the obstacles pulled across the tracks could derail a train. Well, the Soros-installed DA, George Gascon, ordered veteran prosecutor Richard Doyle, who you just saw in that soundbite, to drop the charges, letting the accused walk. No penalty, no questions.
I told him, I'm not comfortable with dismissing what I know to be a good case, a viable prosecution, without knowing the reason why. And he said to me, well, can you just dismiss it today and we'll find out the reasons later? And I said, no.
Look, cops saw a train coming and ran and got the barricades off of the tracks 15 seconds before that passenger train got there. DA Gascon overruled Doyle's refusal and reprimanded prosecutor Doyle. After 30 plus years in the DA's office, Doyle got transferred to an obscure unit far from his home in Gascon's office. It is clear, in his twisted world, accused criminals get treated better than prosecutors who want to fight crime. Now, we use this case only as an example because Soros-backed DAs are now seated in some of America's largest cities. It is a clear attempt to fundamentally change America's justice system to the point where ignoring crime is more common than fighting it.